Oh, this is Rick Mahorn, the bad boy, giving a shout out to my man Drew, Detroit Drew. Make sure you tune in on his YouTube channel. Bad boy.
Yo, what's good, peeps? It has been a minute since we have gone one-on-one, and quite frankly, I need this, man. I got a lot of stuff going on behind the camera. I just need a distraction right now. So today, what we're going to be doing is whatever you guys want to talk about, it's what we're going to talk about today. So as more and more people will join in, I'm sure the topics will get more in depth, but hopefully you guys are having a good day, man. It's definitely been crazy. Shout out to everybody in the chat so far, man. I'm starting to see a lot of new faces coming around to the channel, so that's always a good sign, man. It's so awesome that it's not just me, but the entire DSA is growing. And especially, Pistons Talk, he's caught fire, man. He is doing so well. I'm so proud for him. J-Mo's been crushing it. Lions on the Prowl's been crushing it. So, I mean, just everyone top from bottom of the DSA has been doing fantastic, and it's really awesome to be a part of a group that really does nothing but talk sports. That's really what we're trying to do and involve the fan base. And when you're a part of something like this, it's just so cool to see. Like I said, man, Pistons Talk, congrats on hitting 1K. I have not congratulated you on camera yet. So, man, shout out to you, man. He puts in the work. He uploads every day. Shout out to JMO, man. He has been grinding, not only just posting Pistons content, but Lions content. Lions on the prowl, man. He is onto something over there, man. He's always killing it, man. I'm just so glad to see everyone doing so well, man. This is really what it's all about, man. Man, it's so awesome to see all the good stuff happen. What's going on, everybody, man? Hopefully you guys are having a good day. We are so close to Detroit basketball being back. Or just a handful of days. I believe preseason should start next week. Does it start this week already? What day? I don't even know what day it is, to be honest with you. So it's the 7th. So we should be seeing more and more highlights from training camp. I got to see a little 30-second video of Killian and Sekou in the pick and roll. We got to see LiAngelo running the pick and roll. So we're going to be doing pretty well. AP Gaming says, you're going to be live streaming during the preseason games? Yes, I have to call Spectrum. I thought I had it included in my bundle, but I guess I don't. So I have to call them. I'm going to call them after I get off the stream and get that all set up. So hopefully, if I am home, I will be able to go live during the games. But just so you guys know, the stuff behind the camera is going on right now. It might take away from some YouTube stuff. So I can't predict the future. I don't know what's going to be happening with it. It just sucks, and I'm going to leave it at that for right now. So let's see. Dwayne Casey says Derek has been doing two a day, so he's in shape, and he's ready to go start the season. See, the thing that I seen was Dwayne Casey said that Killian will be starting. So I don't know. I don't know if that's set in stone or not, but regardless, I do expect Killian to get a lot of minutes this year and to be a key contributor to this team. Dwayne Casey also went on to say is that he has let the reins loose on Killian, that he has complete and full control of the offense, and if it's too much for him, he can always reel him back in and tighten the grip on things. So, you said not as the starting? Yeah, Derrick Rose is going to be good, man. Derrick Rose is going to be healthy. We've talked a majority about Blake Griffin being healthy this year. Derrick Rose is going to be just as healthy. And look how good Derrick Rose played for us last year, almost averaged 20 points per game. So he's not going to be probably getting the minutes like he did last year. I think that his role this year is going to be a mentor for Killian. And I see a lot of Derrick Rose fans don't like that. And I get it, man. I get it. You all want to see Derrick Rose start? I do too. I love Derrick Rose. But let's be real. Derrick Rose is not going to be the long-term option for the Pistons. For now, Derrick Rose is going to be the guy who's going to mentor Killian, help groom him, and close the games out. So when we need a guy to take the last shot, Derrick Rose is going to be out there. And do not be surprised when you see a Derrick Rose Killian lineup out there where Killian's probably at the 2 or Rose will be at the 2 and really play positionless basketball. I added Jello because I know a lot of people are going to ask Jello questions to the thumbnail. But yes, he should be in the preseason. Far as I know, his contract gets him that far. And if it doesn't work out where the Pistons don't sign him to the active roster, he will be playing for the Motor City Cruise. So he'll probably go on a two-way contract, which is where he's at right now. I know we got him and King on there. I don't remember who the other one was. I think there's one more. Was it Saban Lee, maybe? That sounds about right. Those guys will probably be bouncing up and down from the G League to the Pistons, depending on injuries and stuff like that. So we will see him a little bit in the preseason. How much time will he get? I don't know. Because we got so many guards that we need to see play. Like Mihailuk, yeah, I seen a video of him. Was it Overtime who posted it? I don't remember who posted the video. But him, one of the Holiday brothers, and I believe Saban, no, it wasn't. It was Hands was there doing drills. And Mihailuk was just on fire. Could not miss, shooting the three. So I know we're going to want to see a lot of him in the preseason. Plus, you just got a new guy called Sadiq Bey that you want to see what he can do. He's going to get a lot of minutes. And then you have veterans like Wayne Ellington who need to get their legs underneath them, get back into shape, and get stuff like that. So there's a lot of guards out here that play the 2, that play the 1, that it's competition for Jello. So I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. I'm very anxious to watch Jello play because, like I said, I think he is the worst ball brother, but I'm also very high on the other 2 ball brothers. So take that as you will, but he brings a lot to the team. You know, he's a great defender, great shooter, great playmaker. So he gives us some size and he gives us some attraction. People are going to want to talk about Jello. So I'm excited for it, man. I like the signing. I see a lot of guys were kind of not happy about it. Not really the case for me. I'm very happy for the signing, and I'm pulling for him. I'm pulling for him because, you know, if you can turn him into something and help him reach his full potential, when the other ball brothers come available in free agency, they're going to be like, hey, let's go play with Jello. So that's all I'm going to say. Hey, cheers from Italy. Well, cheers from Flint, sir. Glad to have you here. I do love me some pasta. I can tell you that much. I've always wanted to go to Italy, but now kind of tough to go there. So, yeah, I was about to say, I love pizza too. Pizza and pasta, man, those are always my go-to behind wings. Wings are still better, but I can get down on some pizza and some pasta. Let's see, man. You think we're going to be the 6th seed in the East? I don't know about that, you know, because I do like some of the pieces that we have, and we have a lot of rookies that are going to get a lot of playing time. It's all about consistency and staying healthy with this team. As long as Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose are healthy, we're a playoff team. But we also have Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose who are injury prone. You know, so much on Blake Griffin's plate. You know, like you said, it really does fall on Blake Griffin. You know, if he's healthy, he's going to be playing at a high level, an all-star caliber, all-NBA level. And if he's doing that in the East, you're going to be a playoff team. But it's not going to be easy for the Pistons because a lot of these teams have gotten better. You know, the big one for me is probably going to be Toronto and Indiana. I see how much they fall, if at all. They've had a lot of changes. You know, Pacers, a lot with the coaching staff. Toronto, they lost a lot of key role players over there. So when that stuff happens, you don't know how players will react because people have to be given bigger roles. Some roles will be taken away and play smaller. So those really are the 2 teams that made the playoffs last year. They're going to be a question mark for me. I think teams like Philly will bounce back, but you never know. The thing that's going for the Pistons is all we have to do is get the 10th seed to have a chance to make the playoffs and get to the play-in tournament. And I think that we have enough talent to get so there. But being as high as the 6th seed, it should be our goal to be that high of a playoff seed. But we have a lot of new players here. We almost have an entirely new team. I think we only kept, 4 pieces from last year? We don't have chemistry yet. And to be a good team, you almost have to have chemistry if you don't have firepower. So give me 1 second. I got a phone call. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. I'm sure that's going to happen a couple more times during the stream. So I don't remember where I was going with that. Oh, yes, Dats. Thanks for reminding me. But then teams like, I don't know about the Knicks. Quite frankly, they're not ready to be a playoff team yet. But Chicago, they should be nice. I'm actually really high on Cleveland this year, to be honest with you. I would have liked it better if they would have got Denny Avia. I'd be a lot more high on them. But they have all five of their starting positions filled. They have a lot of young talents over there. But it's kind of looking like Drummond's not going to fit there. They'll probably move Andre. They're probably going to trade Kevin Love and look to get some of that salary cap off their books and look to go back into even a deeper rebuild. But Atlanta's going to be tough. I think Charlotte, now that they got Melo and Gordon Hayward, they're going to be around that. So it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be really tough for Pistons to make it. Washington's going to bounce back. Yes, I've talked about Washington a lot in my videos. Now that they have a healthy point guard and Westbrook, because my whole question with them is how well is John Wall going to play? You basically traded for the same type of player in Westbrook. They're different, but they both like to go fast and push the pace. But now you got the point guard, and now you got Roy Hachimura, Bradley Beal. Like, that's a lot of scoring right there. So they're going to be a fun team to watch, and they are probably going to be a playoff team. So, like I said, all we have to do is get to the 10 seed. These games where we play the Hornets, that always seemed to beat us when we're a better team. That kind of stuff can't happen this year. Orlando, they've been a good playoff team. You can't lose games like this. If you're really serious about making the playoffs, the Magic, the Wizards, the Hawks, like you said, the Pacers, the Hornets, all these other teams, Cleveland, you can't lose to them. When you play a Boston, when you play a Brooklyn or Toronto, it's okay to lose to those teams. No one expects you to lose to those teams. But when you play the same teams that have about the same amount of talent and right about the same positioning, to get swept by them, unacceptable. That can't happen this year if you're serious about making the playoffs, because tiebreakers are going to be crucial this year. And like I said, we have a shortened season. So when you go on the West Coast, if you lose to a team, it's all right. We have that West Coast trip. It's going to be very tough. We have some back-to-backs against some of the best teams in the NBA. Our schedule is not easy, but I don't want that to be an excuse. You play the same amount of teams either way. It's all about making runs and capitalizing on the teams that you should be. So it's going to be a fun year. And I think that the NBA just all around got better. Almost every single team did. There's still going to be those teams that suck. That's how it always works. But the East, in my opinion, got a lot better. And it's going to be a lot harder to play. Plus, I don't know what my standings are going to be, but Milwaukee's always one of the best regular season teams. Miami, they're a team to watch to see how they're going to bounce back after losing to the finals. Toronto, Boston, Brooklyn, those are five teams right there, probably going to be the top five seeds. Plus, you got Philly coming back. They got some more shooting. They got Doc Rivers over there. Doc always does a good job in the regular season of getting playoff seeds. So that's already 6 spots right there. How many more can we go? Then you got Washington still. I don't know if I said them yet, but the list can go on and on and on. It's not going to be easy for Detroit this year. So if we do not make the playoffs, don't be terrified. Don't be mad at Troy Weaver. Don't be mad at Dwayne Casey unless he does some stupid coaching decisions, which I really don't think he's going to do this year. I think this is really the first year we're going to utilize all of our rookies, to be honest with you. I think, like you said, Killian should be starting, but then Stewart and Bay, they're going to have some good roles coming off the bench to start the season for us. And they're going to be some key contributors to this team. So I'm very, very excited to watch those young guys play. Don't be discouraged by what we're doing if we don't become a playoff team. We're on to something here. We have a direction. We know where we want to go. We know who we want to build around. Plus, you know how all these teams have star players. Killian and Sekou already have a good relationship. If you've seen the training video, I don't remember where I've seen it, or else I'd play it for you. They're already working together in the pick and roll. So when he's out there, he's going to be awesome. So there's a couple things I call dumb coaching decisions. And we've seen this with the Pistons a lot, both under Dwayne Casey and Stan Van Gundy, where you play a veteran, rather if it's a Tony Snell, a Langston Galloway, even though Langston played well for us, when you could have been playing on a Hyluk, a Bruce Brown, a Sekou, when you're losing games by 15 or so. There's a couple things that are considered dumb coaching. If you're up 3 and you need a defensive stop of putting a Langston Galloway out there who doesn't really play defense, if you played Reggie Jackson more than 30 minutes, like those are dumb coaching decisions. There's a lot of them. So with what roster we have now, I think a lot of those poor rotation decisions are going to be out the window. Another one is going everything through Blake because right now Blake hasn't played basketball in a year. To put all of the entire workload back onto him like he's healthy right away is not a smart decision. It's so smart to go through Blake. Blake's a great passer. Doesn't mean he has to score. He can facilitate. As long as you're using your young pieces with your veteran pieces the right amount, it'll work. But with this team, one guy can't do everything. It won't work. We'll lose a lot of games and some very close games. It's kind of like the 04 Pistons team. We're nowhere near as talented as that team is. We have a long way to go to get there, but it's a perfect example. Chauncey ran the offense. The offense pretty much went through Chauncey, but what does that mean? Sometimes all Chauncey would do is give the ball to Rip off of a screen. It's that simple. Sometimes he just looked to get Big Ben involved. And at the right time, Chauncey would get his own shot. But he always started out the game looking for Rasheed, getting him an easy bucket, making sure Big Ben was involved, making sure Rip got his shots, making sure Tayshaun was content, and that's really what we need to do here, to be honest with you. At the end of a game, you want to play Blake ball? If he's feeling it, go for it. Blake scored a 50-point game here in Detroit. He is more than capable of doing it. If we're serious about being a playoff team, you have to conserve Blake Griffin to be competitive at the end of the season because that's what it's going to come down to. You can be a 7th seed, an 8th seed, a 9th, 10th, or whatever, and be in the play-in games. But if you hurt Blake Griffin, if Derrick Rose is hurt, when you get into those playoff games, the play-in games, I should say, you're not going to win. You're going to need those guys. So that's why there's going to be a lot more pressure on the rookies to step up and play well almost day one. Seiko's going to be a tweener. I really think Seiko can play both the 3 and the 4. I think he's going to have a lot more minutes playing the 4 this year because Grant, he's one of those guys who can play the 3 or the 4. Grant can really play the 2 as well. But my prediction is Grant's going to start out with the small forward, and then Sadiq Bey will be backing him up at the 3. But then you look at Josh Jackson. He can play the 2. He can play the 3. And at times, he's even played the 4. So we've gotten some young guys coming in that can play multiple positions. But Sekou should be the primary backup power forward right now for Blake Griffin. And in those games where you want to rest Blake Griffin or if Blake's hurt, you just insert Sekou to the starting 5. So then that way you have Grant and Sekou out there with Killian, with the Josh Jackson, and with Stewart. All those guys are going to run the floor. We're going to have a very fast, young team. We're going to get a whole lot of steals. We're going to chase a whole lot of long rebounds and get in transition and look to get a dunk or an easy 3. Like, this team's going to be a fun team to watch. Even if we're losing games, we are going to have a lot of highlight reels because Josh is a very athletic person. Grant's very athletic. Sekou's very athletic. And even Killian, he's more athletic than what I thought he was. Plus, Plumlee's actually pretty athletic too. He was in a dunk contest. I forgot about that. Yeah, I think Jackson will be a wild card for this team. I'm really pulling for him. He's coming back home. He closed out last year on a strong note. Seriously, if you guys have not, go back to about where the league shut down. So February, March, and go watch some Josh Jackson highlights. If he plays like that for the Detroit Pistons, it's a steal. It's an absolute steal. We're not holding anything against him for everything he's done off the court. And we're not holding any of the bad plays or bad shots or missed opportunities he had before. It's a fresh slate for him. He's coming back home to where he knows. Was he in a dunk contest or was it Miles Plumlee? Now I'm starting to I'm confusing myself. one of the Plumlee brothers was in a dunk contest. It was not very good. Let me Google that real quick. Let me find out which one that was. Yeah, Mason Plumlee was in the dunk contest. Yeah. He played for Brooklyn when he did it. Stat prediction for Blake and D Rose. Like I said, it's going to depend on how healthy they are. But Blake should be hovering around the 25 point per game mark if he's healthy. 6 boards, 5 assists, somewhere around that ballpark. And then Derrick Rose, anything like last year, he's going to be averaging about 18 to 20 something a game, depending on how much opportunity he's going to get. Again, with right here, he's going to be a good guard for us. He can play the 1 or the 2. And with Killian, a lot of those minutes that Rose had last year are not going to be there. So Rose is going to be efficient, though. We've seen it last year. Rose would come in for like 20 seconds and already has 6 points or something along those lines. Like, he's going to be our microwave. He's going to be the guy coming off the bench, give us some points. So he can hover around 18 to 20 or something. So didn't Brent Berry win the dunk contest? I don't know. White man can't jump. Blake Griffin's half white, so that half counts. So we might have 0.1 or 0.5. We might have half a point. But I don't remember any other ones. That's a fun trivia question. Do you know the answer, Ben? I want to know the answer now. I know DiVincenzo would have been a favorite. No, it does not concern me that Sekou wasn't a Weaver draft pick. Because I know usually like when a new regime comes over, they usually try to get rid of players they didn't draft. But looking at Sekou, if you traded away Sekou, you'd be an idiot. Sekou's is raw, uncharted talent. You can't teach what Sekou has. You can help him learn fundamentals and get better at it, but just the raw athleticism and just sheer talent level, you can't teach that. So Killian's ceiling, it's really hard to tell you his ceiling without watching him play in the NBA. But, NBA doesn't give the Pistons a whole lot of credibility and reasons to watch them. But in several predictions for Rookie of the Year, Killian is a top 5. So anytime you're in the conversations like that, you're going to have a good career. He just got to stay healthy, which he doesn't have any injury problems. He's got a great shot, great playmaking ability, great handles. He's really got it all, man. So his ceiling is really high. Going back to when the league shut down, when I kind of switched gears and started talking about draft prospects, I told you guys that through the draft, I wanted LaMelo or I wanted Killian Hayes. So however good LaMelo is, Killian should not be that far behind him. I really think it's that close. So we're only playing 72 games this year. We're not going to play the full 82. Normally during the 82-game season, I probably said we would have been hovering around the 35 win mark. I still think that's around doable, and that's good enough to get the 10th seed. So it's a little bit better with 10 less games we're playing. So I think that we can win 35. Let me do my math here. 72 minus 35. So we'd be 35 and 37. Just hovering around below 500. You can very easily win 37. So we should be hovering around 500 ball. See, I knew Brent Berry won it. Yeah, it's very possible we can. We very well can win a game down the line in the play-in tournament to make the playoffs. Derek Fisher was all right. I'm not sure what's going on with hands. I don't know what's going on with a lot of these guys that we've waived and stretched, and let go. I don't really know, to be honest with you. It'll probably be my luck. Like, I won't talk about it, and then boom, one game he's just out there. I really don't know what's going on. That's a good question. I've never been asked that question. How many games do I think will be favored in? That's a good question. I don't know, man. So we played 72. So I'll probably say 30%. And I think that's being generous. NBA really don't like us. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? I'm doing all right. Definitely been better, but I've also been worse. So I just need something to take my mind off of everything right now. But yeah, I don't think we'll be favored in too many. And I've never been asked that question before. I like that. They it's kind of weird because I see a Killian Hayes and a lot of the runnings for Rookie of the Year, but then when I see like season predictions, they have us to be in like one of the worst teams in the not just in the East but in the entire NBA. A lot of them have us as the second worst team in the East, which healthy Blake, healthy Derrick Rose, I can't see that. And again, I get it, man. The East has gotten way better and way tougher, but I just don't see us being that bad. To be honest with you, everyone wants to tank and get a high draft pick because of how good next year's draft is. And plus, part of the sign and trade for Christian Wood is it's what, top 16 protected? We're not going to be good enough to lose that pick, but I don't think we're going to be bad enough where it's going to be a high lottery pick anyway. So I think 21 games is fair. I don't really know how Musa's going to fit. I kind of forgot about him too. And Magruder's also another one I've kind of forgot about. I don't know what's going to happen with these guys. I really don't. I just right now, with our starting five and our rotation, you guys can go back and watch my starting five. I really don't know how many more guys we're going to use outside of that, to be honest with you. Look, I get all start the Derrick Rose stuff. I do. I love Derrick Rose. But again, you have to realize is the Pistons are looking for the future. Derrick Rose will probably be traded at the trade deadline, if not a little bit sooner. Right now, the Pistons just want him to groom Killian Hayes. Rather if that's right, wrong, or indifferent, it's kind of what the Pistons want him to do. But the Pistons are going to play him in key factors down the stretch. When we need a buzzer beater, it's going through Derrick. It's going through Blake. So that way, at the trade deadline, we can move on from him if we're not where we want to be. Only scenario I see where we're keeping both of those guys this year is if we are out of the play-in and we're so high up. That would probably mean 16 or higher that Blake and Derrick Rose would stay. If not, I really think come trade deadline, we'll say thank you, best of luck to your future adventures, and go get a ring and go trade him somewhere. It's just that the Pistons are looking at this differently. Blake's going to be starting for sure. You're paying him too much money not to. And quite frankly, that wouldn't be right. But we're looking at Killian as the future. This is going to be Killian's team and then for the next 5 years. You can't say, it's going to be your team, but you got to do it off the bench. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Easy, man? Good to see you in the chat, man. Make sure you guys go subscribe to him. I got to add your channel to the description. So if you want to put your link to the channel in the chat so people can go subscribe to you, he is one of the newest members of the DSA, man. You will see him on the round table. You'll see him on Above the Rim. So make sure you guys go check him out, man. He does a lot more than that. He also talks about UFC. So if you're all into all that stuff, man, like I just seen Conor McGregor sign for a new fight. I'm going to be watching that. Go check him out, man. Yeah, man, we just hit 4.29. It just feels like last week we hit 4K. It's been crazy how well everything's doing lately, and it's translating too. It's not like I just said in the beginning of the stream. It's not just me. It's everybody right now. Like I said, Pistons Talk just hit 1,000 subscribers, man. Shout out to him. Make sure if you guys aren't subscribed to him already that you go do so. J-Mo's been killing it. Lions on the Prowl's been killing it. Detroit Sports Room's been killing it. So it's just like everything we're doing right now is working, and it's all to you guys. You guys are watching all of our stuff. It's really awesome, so I'm thankful for it. Hey, we could be dumpster. We could be booty. I don't know. Yeah, throw him right into the fire, man. Throw him in the fire. This is the first time I can remember that we've actually drafted a rookie that had all-star potential. Not saying Killian's making it this year. I'm talking a couple years down the road, and we're starting him day one. When we drafted Andre Drummond, again, yeah, everything King's been killing it too, man. He's him, Dosa Dion. They're all killing it right now too. It's a good time to be a Detroit YouTuber. But going back to Drummond, we didn't start Andre right away. And I could tell from watching Josh Smith and Greg Monroe that Andre was better than both of them. And eventually we traded Greg Monroe away. We let go of Josh Smith and really gave Drummond the keys, and he made the All-Star team twice. Was he the answer ultimately? No, he wasn't. But you knew he was going to be an All-Star caliber player. It just took him a couple years. It took him, a year to get started? We drafted Brandon Knight and Greg Monroe. They pretty much started right away for the most part. But they didn't have all-star potential. Killian does. This is really the first time, since I don't know when, we drafted a rookie that had great potential, probably since Grant Hill, to be honest with you. And Grant Hill had way more upside than Killian did. Grant Hill could have been one of the best players ever played if he never got hurt. I do like the D-Lo complaining. I'm not here to defend Andre. I'm just saying Andre was the best player we've ever had for, the last 10 years or so since the 04 team. Again, it's not really saying much. We've had people like Gigi Datomi and Charlie V and Ben Gordon come through here. Again, not saying a whole lot. It's not. But he was the best player, and it took the Pistons a year to start him. And we're doing that with Killian now. That's my whole point. That's my whole point. Plus, this is a good point right here. Drummond came into a bad situation. You had Josh Smith playing the 4 and Greg Monroe starting at the 5. So what did they do? They're like, all right, Andre's the real deal. Let's get him incorporated. So what the hell did the Pistons do? They put Smith at the 3, G-Mo at the 4, and Dre at the 5. Killian has a way better starting lineup than that. Seriously, however you want to do it. If you want to start Mykhailiuk or Josh Jackson, I don't care. I like both of them. They're going to help Killian a lot. If you want to start Grant, that's what you're going to do. You're paying him a lot of money. You have to. That's a great player for him. He's going to be a great mentor. Grant has had so many good seasons, playing on good teams with experience. And he's going to be here for a bigger role. Grant's probably going to have a breakout year. It's going to probably be one of his best years of his career. Then you got Blake Griffin at the 4. Swiss Army weapon offensively. Can do it all. Pass, shoot, finish through contact, draw fouls, set you up. What else do you want for a player offensively? He's got it all. And then you got guys that are going to be thriving in the pick and roll. Plumlee, he sets great screens. He's great in the pick and roll. Okafor has improved tremendously. He's added a nice three-point shot to him. And then you got Stewart, a guy who's just going to be a bully down low. Love the Zebo comparisons for him. He's got depth and position. Plus, he's got one of his best friends, Sekou, he's going to be playing with. Bay's going to be awesome for him. Killian's got all the pieces around him to thrive right away. And like Easy says, he's more experienced. He's been playing against pros for years. So he's already been playing at a high level of competition. I just don't know what else we want from a rookie. He checks every box. And I hope he does well. I'm ready to watch him play. I tell you this much. I cannot wait to watch preseason. The first highlight he has is going in the intro. I did it last year with Christian Wood when he dunked on Vucevic. I did it last year with Sekou when he dunked on Tristan Thompson. That was really the first highlight we've seen of Sekou. Okay, let's not compare him to Darko. Darko's a whole another thing. For one, the only person I think we would consider passing on is Denny Avdija. He's got a boom or bust potential for him. Darko, you know who we passed on. That's totally different. But if Killian don't work out, it's not like you reached for him. So I think he's going to be fine, though. Who are you comparing Killian to? I didn't see it. I didn't see who you compared him to. I'm sorry. I missed it. Sorry, man. We got 88 people in here. It's kind of hard to keep up with everything. Oh, boy. Here we go again. We got Jeff Green 2.0. I'm cool. Man, hey, people don't respect Jeff Green enough. I would still take Jeff Green in a heartbeat. If Jeff Green is, or if I guess I should say that this way, if Bay is Jeff Green 2.0, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Green's got those explosive games where he goes off for 30 points and plays great defense. I'm perfectly content with that. I just don't know if we're going to be bad enough to get Cunningham, to be honest with you, man. I really don't. I would love to get more talent like that. It's just this team's weird. I don't know what to expect. It's not a bad comparison. It's not. I love it. When Killian does face Curry, it's going to be a matchup that I can't wait to see. Yeah, I want to see how Killian does against some of the best point guards in the league. Definitely. And that's a great test. You know, Curry's been the best point guard in the league for how many years now? You always want to see how your future star player is going to play against the best league's talent. So I'm looking forward to it, man. We got a Heat fan subscribing. Hey, we're trying to take the jump you guys took last year. That's our goal. We want to be you guys this year. I just hope we can do it. You guys got a nice squad, man. I usually root for Florida teams. I was born in Florida. I never really I was there for 2 years, the first 2 years of my life. So I don't really relate to Florida, but because I was born there, I usually root for Florida teams. So I was pulling for you guys last year, man. Yeah, that's true. I don't know how good defensively we're going to be yet either, though. We got a lot of guys that are going to get in the passing lane and force a lot of steals. So I think we're going to be a good defensive team. I think it's going to be different, though. I think it's going to be different. You know, I think we're going to force a lot of turnovers. We'll just probably give up a lot of points. But Killian looks to be a good defender. Casey's already talked about he's got several block shots in the first couple practices that they've done. But he's going to become a good defender if he's not rookie year. Josh Jackson, really good defender. Jeremy Grant, you've heard Troy Weaver say that he thinks he's going to be an all-NBA defensive player. Okay. Blake Griffin, when he wants to be, he's good. It's just he doesn't really care. A lot of his drive and focus is offense. But then, Plumlee, he's not the best defensive player, but he can test shots. And that's really all I want. For our centers, we got a lot of them. Troy Weaver loves his big men. You've also heard him say that. I want our fives to play aggressive. Again, to bring up the Andre Drummond situation. When Andre got into foul trouble, we were screwed. We didn't really have another option at the five that could contribute the way Andre did when he was playing well. Now, between Plumlee, between Stewart, between Okafor, I'm fine with any of those guys playing. So go out there for the five. Be aggressive. No free chili. Protect the paint. Put the D back in Detroit. No homo. Pause. Whatever you want to say. Let those guys be aggressive. Let them follow people. We have enough centers to back them up. But I think we'll be a different good defensive team. Again, we might give up a lot of points, but we're going to be okay, I think. That was one of my biggest concerns going into this year is I thought we were going to be a terrible defensive team. But like I said, Bay is going to be a 3-and-D guy. I think he's going to bring a lot to the table. I think a lot of people are going to like him. If Jello ever plays, he's a good defender. So, we got guys who come in here and contribute. We have a lot of guys who play multiple positions, guard multiple positions. So we're going to see a lot of switching. I'm really keen on Stewart. Stewart's going to be our center moving forward down the future. And if you guys watch any of his highlights, his switching ability is unreal. He can switch on anyone. He's going to be able to guard guards at times. He's really going to be kind of like our Bam Adebayo on defense, where he can switch on anybody and guard anybody. Again, he's got a long way to go before he's going to get to that level. He might not ever get to that level, but defensively, he can switch on to people, if you know what I'm saying. You know, it's always funny. When the Pistons reveal a new Motor City jersey, I always hate it at first, but then it grows on me. Last year, I didn't like the red ones at first with the blue stripes down the middle. I really didn't. But then they grew on me. I seen them on Blake Griffin. I'm like, all right, you know what? That's not too shabby. I like it. Same thing with this year. I seen the blue ones before they were on anybody. I didn't really like them. But then again, they showed us a picture with Blake Griffin on it. I like them. They're all right. You know, they're nothing fancy. I still think we can do better than that, but I don't mind them. The ones I don't like are the gray ones. I really hope we change those. I'm not really a huge fan of the gray jersey. You know, I think we have just so much different options. I see a lot of people don't like the Pistons logo. I'm okay with it. It really doesn't bother me. No, he's not going to be the next Grant Hill. Grant Hill really helped revolutionize the game of point forwards. He was really one of the first guys who was a big name who did all that. And Grant Hill was really our star player. Like, he got media coverage. He was talked about. So, all right, give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, peeps. I got some good news. So I'm gonna wrap this up real quick. I'm gonna go talk to my girl. We're gonna go take care of what we gotta take care of. But things are starting to look up. Things just got a whole lot better right now. So I'm in a better mood now. I'm in a better mood. So I'm all for the teal jerseys. I like the red ones. If we did a Bad Boys tribute, I wouldn't be mad with that either. You know, my dream is to bring back the '04 red jerseys. Those jerseys were the best jerseys we've ever had, in my opinion. And I like the teal ones. You know, I have my Grant Hill jersey. I love it. Wear it all the time. It wouldn't be a bad idea. You know, like when the Grizzlies brought back the Vancouver jerseys and changed the whole court, it looks beautiful. So I'm all for that, man. So I'm going to go relax and mellow out for a minute. But, man, we had almost 100 people in here at one point in time. It's crazy. The love and support I've been getting recently, it's crazy, man. We're growing so much. So thank you to all you guys who tune in and say all the kind words every single day I upload it. It means a lot to me. So thank you so much, man. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day. You guys stay safe out there. Make sure you guys do go into the description, follow all the DSA members, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And hopefully I'll see you guys right back here tomorrow, man. And that's the bottom line because Detroit Drew said so. And you guys stay safe out there, man. It's crazy. Peace.